Previously, we tried the base 5 roulette method using inside bets, and yeah, it looked promising. But as we mentioned, there's another method with the same name, but it's a totally different system. It actually claims you can pocket $55 in just 4 moves using outside bets. Sounds cheeky, right? Well, not so fast, because in my opinion, this method has a serious flaw. So today, we're going to put it to the test, live, and I'll show you exactly why I'm not fully sold on it. Welcome to Ninja Gamblers, where you can learn the best strategies for casino games like roulette, blackjack, and more. Subscribe and hit the bell to stay ahead of the game and maximize your chances of making big wins. Also, check out the link in the description for our Telegram channel and Instagram page, featuring exclusive content that never makes it to YouTube. Alright folks, if you remember, not long ago, we tested the base 5 roulette method using inside bets. In that video, I went from €300 to almost €600 in just a few minutes. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting strategy. I'll link that video up here if you want to check it out. As I mentioned before, there are actually 2 methods floating around online with the same name, base 5, but they're completely different. I've no idea why they share the same title, they're not even remotely similar. Today, we're diving into the second strategy called base 5, the one that uses outside bets. This one also has a bit of a reputation for being an easy profit maker, but in my opinion, it's got a few issues. Let's take a closer look together. So, I'm currently on an Italian casino using euros, but the gameplay is the same in any currency. So I'll mention dollars and euros in a similar way today, as they're pretty much interchangeable. Remember, if you don't want to risk getting scammed, always play on safe, legal sites where payouts are guaranteed, the games aren't rigged, and strategies like this are actually allowed. You'll find a complete, up-to-date list of verified casinos by country linked right here on the screen, and also in the description and pinned comment below. Alright, so this method is based on a very specific betting pattern, this one right here. It's super simple. You start with a base bet of $5. If you lose, you stick with $5. If you win, you move up to $10. Win again, you go to $15. And if you win that too, you move to the final bet, $25. If you manage to win all 4 steps in a row, the cycle is complete and you start over. But if you lose at any point, you go right back to the base bet of $5. So, let's try it out and then we'll break it down together. As I said, I'll use euros in the exact same way. Now, this method is meant to be used only on outside bets, red or black, odd or even, or 1 to 18 and 19 to 36. These bets double your money and have around a 50% chance of winning. I'm going to select a €5 chip, that's our base bet, and place it on black. Let's keep it simple and stick with black for now. So, €5 on black. Spin. Lost, so we repeat the same bet. Won, that means we move up to €10, still on black. Spin. Lost again, so we go back to the base bet of €5. Won, so we go back up to €10 on black. And another win, that takes us up to €15, the third step. Boom, won again. That brings my balance up to €120, starting from €100. So, €20 in profit so far. But we're not done yet. There's still one bet left to complete the cycle, €25 on black. This is the big one. It either gives us a nice boost or knocks us back. Surely this is where we lose, right? Classic luck. Nope, we hit it. Win. That means we've completed the full cycle. 4 straight wins gives us a total profit of €55. Since we had a couple of losses along the way, I'm currently sitting at €45 profit. Let's go for another round, this time on red. And while we're playing, let's talk about how the system actually works. So here's the idea. Every time you lose during the cycle, you only really lose €5, because the rest of your bets are using your recent winnings. And since one complete cycle gives you €55 profit, You only need one win like that every 11 failed attempts to break even, or come out ahead. Even better, if you lose on the third step, you break even. If you lose on the fourth, you still make a €5 profit. So, on paper, this looks like a pretty solid strategy, right? Well, not so fast. Here's the problem: the maths. The actual probability of winning 4 spins in a row on a near 50-50 bet is just 5.57%. So unfortunately, it happens less often than it feels like it should, and that means you often end up losing more than you gain. This is what's known as a positive progression, similar to a reverse martingale, where you increase your bets as you win, trying to ride a winning streak. But it falls apart with zigzag results, when wins and losses alternate. That's the opposite of regular systems like the classic martingale, where we increase after losses and capitalize on those zigzags. In this case, we're just sitting around hoping for 4 reds in a row to make €55. But while you wait, your balance keeps slowly bleeding down, not dramatically, but €5 at a time. And as you can see, this round hasn't gone my way. I'm just losing over and over without hitting that winning streak. My balance is back to €100, so I'd need another €55 cycle win to pull it back up. To be fair, it's not a high-risk strategy. The losses are small and controlled, but what you get in return is just a roller coaster, up and down, and you really have to know when to quit. Now, I know what you're thinking: why not flip the system? Instead of increasing when we win, what if we increase when we lose, like we do with Fibonacci or Martingale? Alright, let's try it out. This time, I'll only move up the ladder when I lose, and reset to the base bet when I win. Let's see how it plays out. €5 on red. Lost, so we move to €10. Won, great, €5 profit. Back to the base bet, €5 on red. Won again, back to €5. And we win again. That's 3 wins in a row. Lost, so we move to €10. Lost, now €15. Yikes, lost again, up to €25. And we win. So now we're back at €115. Not quite the €120 we hit earlier. Let's reset to €5 and go again. Lost, up to €10. Lost again, now €15. Oof, lost once more, so now €25. At this time we lose the 4th one. Now what? We've reached the end of the ladder. Do we double again? At that point, it's just a regular martingale. So technically, we've hit the stop loss, and what we've ended up with is a sort of inefficient martingale, not a clean doubling, and depending on where you are in the sequence, you might just break even, make a little profit, or still take a loss. So, what's the takeaway? Honestly, if you want to play a reversed version of this system, you're better off just using a straight martingale. It's simpler and more efficient. As for the original method, where you increase on a win, yes, it can work, but like I said before, it's really just a luck-based ride. You go down €5 at a time, and then boom, win €55 in one lucky streak. The key is knowing when to stop and cash out. In that case, sure, it might make sense, but if I'm being honest, I much prefer the base 5 method with inside bets, the one we looked at in that other video. And what about you? Which method do you prefer? The one on inside bets or the one on outside bets? Let us know down in the comments. We do our best to reply to everyone. And don't forget, only play on safe, legal casinos that actually pay out. Don't rig the games and allow these strategies. We've listed the best ones, organized by country and US state, also linked on screen and below. If you got value from this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and join our Telegram for exclusive content that never makes it to YouTube. Thanks for watching, see you next time, ninjas.